There'll be lots to win and experience. Saturday, November 12th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the Green Tree Lawn, Oro. The Cable. Always giving you more where it matters.
Good morning everyone. Welcome to another edition of PowerTalk, brought to you by your number one utility provider. PowerTalk is brought to you every first and third Wednesday each month because we have some lovely issues we'd like to speak to you about. I am your host, Janisha Hendrickson, the Corporate Communications Officer at SKELEC. This morning I have two faces with me again. No strangers to the Power Talk show, and we'll continue the discussion about Energy Month. How are you guys doing this morning? How is Energy Month going for you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Energy Month has been going very good so far. We started last week Sunday, the 30th of October. We watched it at the Old Road Wesleyan Holiness Church. We had a very good turnout in terms of the number of persons who turned out, and we had a good service. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the Wesleyan Holiness Church in Old Road for hosting us. The minister on Monday delivered the address to open Energy Month, and on Saturday we joined with the Ministry of Tourism, which is also celebrating Tourism Month in November with us. We joined with them over at Majors Bay to clean up the beach. Again, that had a very good turnout. Just yesterday we had a low carbon emission workshop at the IT center at the industrial site, and we had a very good turnout. Representatives from SKELEC, NEVLEC, the Engineers Association, AVEC, and so forth came out to the presentation, and they said that they learned from it, and it was a very interesting presentation. So that is what has happened so far, and so far it has been successful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown is the Energy Director for the Energy Unit, and we have Mr. Dinazio Frank, the Energy Officer. He is here ready to talk to you about the month of activities. So Mr. Brown did highlight the activities that already occurred. So let's continue the discussion about the upcoming activities. I know one of the activities is a quiz. Can you give us some information about that? Where would it take place, the time, and possibly the schools that are part of this quiz?
Sure, no problem. And good morning. It is a pleasure to be here again. Yes, so tomorrow we start our primary school quiz. We'll have our preliminary round, and that's where these schools are going to be separated into zones, and they're going to be competing for a spot in the finals. So in the Bastyr zone, we have the Dr. William Connor Primary School, we have the Dean Glassford Primary School, we have the Immaculate Conception Catholic School, and we have the Tucker Clark Primary School. And that competition will take place at the Dean Glassford Primary. In the East Zone, we have the Keon Primary School, we have the Sadler's Primary School, and the Violet Petty Primary School, and that will take place at the Sadler's Primary School. And then in the West Zone, we have the Dateby Primary School, the Ross Preparatory School, the St. Paul's Primary, the Sandy Point Primary, and the Tyrrell Williams Primary School, and that will take place in the St. Paul's Primary School. And then we also have a competitor from Nevis. So there's a Nevis zone, and we have a team that is going straight to the finals. That's the Ivor Walters Primary School. So the preliminaries will take place tomorrow at 10 a.m. It will not be live, but it will take place regardless. And then the finals for that competition will take place on the 17th, and it will be live streamed, and it will be at the QNO conference room. On Saturday, there is going to be an interministerial funding, so different ministries are going to come together and have a bunch of activities It seems to be a very competitive event. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it, but it's just left to see. We're going to have a energy fair. So I guess, Dr. Brown, would you like to elaborate on the energy fair?
Okay, yes. The energy fair will be in the square on the 18th of November, Friday. That's a Friday, the 18th of November. A number of energy-related people who are in the energy industry and companies who work in the energy industry would be there. They would have booths and they would be displaying their products and their services. An example, well, the energy unit will be there. We will have a video outlining some of the things that are happening in the energy industry in St. Kitts, planned to happen. We'll also have bulbs, the LED bulbs, to give away. SKELEC would be there. SKELEC is the electric utility in St. Kitts. NEVLEC would also be coming down from Nevis. That's the electric utility in Nevis. We would have the two fossil fuel suppliers both St. Kitts and Nevis, which is Sol and Delta, would be there. We have a gentleman from Sandy Point by the name of Simbawana. I generally refer to him as a solar enthusiast. He has his home fully solar. He's off the grid, and he promised that he would have a great display on that day. The Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College would be represented there. AVEC, it's not confirmed. AVEC is not confirmed, but we have had conversations with them, and they have expressed interest in being there. The Bureau of Standard will be there. There is a company by the name of Green Energy Solutions. It's a St. Kitts company. It's run by Wayne Archibald, Dr. Wayne Archibald. He does a lot of solar training, a lot of renewable energy training. So he will be there. That week to the Diabetes Association also have their Diabetes Awareness Week. So they would be there doing blood tests. Tourism, which you say is would have their tourism month in November, just like we are having our energy month. They would have a booth there promoting the tourism related services and products and what's not. The youth department, that is not really an energy related thing, but they are also having either Youth Week or Youth Month, and they asked to join us, and we welcome them. And that is just a few of them. There would be more. There are more that would be there. So I invite the general public to come out. And just something I have to say concerning the quiz. I would like to mention that this quiz is sponsored by the Republic of China and Taiwan and SKELEC. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank both the Republic of China and Taiwan and SKELEC for the sponsorship of this primary school quiz.
Well, I can speak on SKELEC's behalf. We do enjoy sponsoring events that are pushing towards the youth of St. Kitts and Nevis, because I know yesterday was National STEM Day, and the energy fair, I would encourage students, adults, anybody to come out and look around, see if you see anything that piques your interest, because STEM is a field that you work in every day. As Mr. Brown is an engineer as well, he can attest to that. Sometimes doing the simple things, even fixing your car, you're a part of STEM. So I would encourage persons, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have a specific job that you would like to work with in STEM and it's a part of SKELEC, feel free to come to our booth, ask any questions. And I also like to say Happy National STEM Day was yesterday, but we're still saying Happy National STEM Day to all our wonderful STEM workers. So as we continue the conversation about your activities, I know you mentioned the last show that you'll be having a soca size for persons. Would you like to inform them of where the soca size will be and what time, if there's any fee to join?
Sure, no problem. Just one point of correction. The regarding the energy fair, the group is actually Global Solutions International, and they actually do training opportunities and certifications, for example, in like solar installation. So persons who may be interested in installing solar at some point, they can actually go to the booth and look to see if they could get some training or some certification from GSI. Regarding the soccer size is free. It's gonna be on the SKELEC parking lot, in the SKELEC parking lot. That's on Central Street, correct? And just come out. It's just for you to come and enjoy yourself and keep fit.
What time will it begin?
It will begin at 4:30 p.m.
Okay. So Dinazi will be leading the soccer side, so feel free to come down and get a free workout. We'll be sure to burn some calories. So as we highlight the activities for the CARICOM Energy Month, is there anything else you would like to add? I know you said that you're having a Totally for Kids show. So yes. For this Totally for Kids show, would any prizes be offered to kids to call in if they answer a question or anything?
That is still have to be decided. I'll be very honest. But we'll be here for Totally for Kids on the 26th of November. We also are going to be collaborating with the Diabetic Association on their walk on the 19th. So the energy unit and the Department of the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure will be participating in the diabetic walk. I would also say that it runs into the regional activities for CARICOM Energy Month, because on that day, all the other islands in the region where they're gonna be having their what they call a killer walk. So the killer walk is essentially a regional walk that we're gonna have, and ours is gonna be in a joint with the Diabetic Association. In Guyana, the CARICOM itself is gonna be having their walk in Guyana, and it seems like it's gonna be a big thing. So I would like for the public to come out and support the Diabetic Association walk. I think they may have shirt packages as well. So as much as possible, you can support the cause as well. We're also going to be having Family Feud. Let's point that out. So on the 24th, we're going to have Family Feud. I think we're going to be actually against SKELEC. SKELEC is one of the competitors. So the Energy Ministry is going to be competing against SKELEC. So I do recommend that you.
And for sure, SKELEC will be the one winning Family Feud.
I can see that.
So thank you very much for highlighting the upcoming activities.
Sorry, just one more thing to add. We are also trying to have a website launch. We're going to be launching our website on the 30th of November. So all the information that we've been sharing all these years, and even for Energy Month, all the activities that we've been doing will be on display on the website, and that will hopefully be launched on the 30th of November at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Frank and Mr. Brown. So let's change the conversation or the discussion a bit. Let's talk about the theme for Energy Month, which is Our Future is Electric. Mr. Brown, as the Energy Director, what are the future plans for energy in St. Kitts?
Well, the theme of future is electric. What that is trying to say is that electricity is one of the most convenient form of energy to use. Once you get it converted to electricity, it can then be converted to any other form of energy. For example, for heat, for cooking, for motion, for washing machines, your blender, whatever you want. And so what we are trying to say is that we will produce all our electricity from renewable energy. That is the plan, the goal. And then we convert our end use to electricity, all our end use. And for example, some people in St. Kitts cook on electricity at the moment, but there are also some people who use the LPG. It is more convenient, it is healthier to use the electricity to cook. I don't think so. We would want to, at some point in time, convert all of our cooking to electricity. And then the big one is transportation. We use fossil fuel for transportation. All our cars, our trucks, our buses run on diesel and gasoline. And the intention is to move to electric vehicle. They are much more efficient, they cost less, over their lifetime. So we would like to convert to things. It's a long-term goal. I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight, and it's also a very challenging goal. But that's our intention.
Thank you very much. You mentioned electric vehicles. How do you intend to landscape electric vehicles over the next 10 years? Because I know you said just now that it's a long-term goal.
Yes.
So how do you intend to landscape electric vehicles?
Okay. I think some background is needed in terms of electric vehicles. Almost all of the major developed countries have some kind of deadline for which they would stop producing fossil fuel vehicles, the internal combustion engines, and produce electric vehicles. The earliest, I think, is Japan, where we get almost all vehicles from. By 2035, they will not be making any internal combustion engine in Japan. They will not be importing any. So if you have an internal combustion vehicle in Japan in 2035 and you're going to get rid of it to buy a new vehicle, it will not be an internal combustion vehicle. Most likely will be an electric vehicle, and that is where we source most of our vehicles from. So at some point in time, I think it won't be right away, we will be forced basically to be using electric vehicle, and so we have to be prepared for that. No matter how long, the quicker we start preparing, the better. Also, at the state of the technology now, over a lifetime, electric vehicle is less expensive than an internal combustion engine. The upfront cost may be more, but the maintenance and the fuel, which is electricity, is so much less that over the life of the vehicle, you will spend less money maintaining it. So it would be best to buy electric vehicles, and the price of them, the upfront price, keeps going down.
Yes, thank you very much.
So,
thank you very much for that information, Mr. Brown. So as we continue the discussion about electric vehicles, what policies will be in place for these electric vehicles? Because we know that we cannot just import these vehicles and just start to drive them. There must be some policies or some regulations or something in place for these electric vehicles.
The electric vehicles, a few of them are sinkers, but the requisite regulations and so forth are not there. We don't have a policy, but that is something that we would have to do, and do very quickly in order to prepare for the eventual influx of electric vehicles. And we could do things like incentives, like in terms of customs. I don't know how customs right now classify an electric vehicle, but I've heard stories from other countries where an electric vehicle is not recognized as a vehicle originally, and those type of things. I don't know how customs do it at the moment. Then we could have, apart from the incentives, the regulations, as I said, that would encourage persons to buy electric vehicles. The laws, the regulations, the policies. So we have to get those in place before we get the influx.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Brown. Because I've never heard so much about electric vehicles. When you see electric vehicles, most of the times you see them on TVs and persons in different countries. I think one of them is a Tesla. You see them go to the charging port and everything, and we know eventually we'll have to move in that direction for cleaner energy. At this time,
speaking of charging, you could charge them at home, but we would have to start looking at public charging facilities. And the thing about electric vehicle, now you could get a range of over 300 kilometers. So that is a lot of distance in St. Kitts. You could come, you live at the extreme end of St. Kitts there, but you could come to town and back several times on a charge. So it's very convenient for some kids.
At this time, do we have any callers, GQ? Okay. You were saying the answer.
Yes, I actually forgot to mention, and I need to mention this. We have 3 other competitions that are going on. The jingle, the Energy Month jingle, that deadline has been extended. The new deadline is the 18th, and the price has been upped. So it's now a grand prize of $1,000 for the winner of the jingle. So feel free to send your submissions. The criteria is still the same. A 1-minute video. There was an issue, somebody pointed out an issue with the originality rule. I'd just like to share that if it is they already have music, you can use that music. It will still count as originality. Once it abides by the copyright laws of the country, then it can be, your own original music can be used for the competition. There's also 2 regional activities that I want to highlight. I mentioned before there is a photography competition that is going on from CARICOM, and a short film competition that is also going on, and the grand prize is very big. The short film is like 2,000 US for the grand prize winner. So I highly recommend anybody from St. Kitts, if you're a photo enthusiast, a picture enthusiast, a short film enthusiast, pursue the competition.
And that will look very pretty on your resume as well, to see that you won a CARICOM event. So
correct.
We do encourage persons, if you're a company, a small company, or upcoming individual who is starting to find your niche in that field, we would suggest that you join the competition. Feel free to contact the energy unit for any information. Do we have any callers, GQ?
Hello.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Doing
fine,
well.
and you?
Jika, good morning.
Good morning.
There is a lamp post outside here where I live. The light is on all day. It could say 24 hours, because you're on all day or night. I mean, it usually come on in the night, but it's on all day. I don't know if that is something is wrong or it's normal, but it's just outside my house. I knew what I was in.
Caller, is it possible you can give GQ your information off air, and we'll be sure to be in contact with you shortly.
Okay, darling.
Any more callers? Okay. So, Dinazia, as you were continuing the conversation about the upcoming activities, we would encourage persons to join the CARICOM activities. I for sure, if I could have take pictures or do any videos, I would have joined. So, Mr. Brown, sorry, can you discuss the plans for infrastructure to cater for electric vehicles?
The infrastructure that's needed is public charging stations, and basically where we would put them strategically. So, but as I said, you could charge at home, but some people would still need public charging infrastructure. For example, a bus that is running all day may not be able to go home to charge. So at some point between Basti and where it's going, need charging. So that is the main infrastructure that is needed for electric vehicles. Another problem that we have to deal with eventually, but it will be far away. Eventually we have to dispose of the batteries. So the policy, that whatever policy and regulation we develop, would have to address the disposal of the batteries.
Okay, thank you very much. So, DQ, any more callers as we wrap up? So, I would like to thank you guys for coming and informing us about Energy Month, and also having a conversation about our future is electric in St. Kitts, because energy is so important, and as we continue to further in renewable energy, we need to know as much information as possible. Do you have any closing remarks at this time?
I would just like to encourage the public to participate in the events, the upcoming events. The energy fair, for example, we're going to have bulbs to give away, so I encourage the public to come out, and just like you say, see SKELEC and the others at Family Feud.
Of course we will.
I don't know what that.
Mr. Brown, you have any closing remarks?
The same as what Dinazio said. Encourage them to support the events that we have. The fair, the jingle. We would like to see persons participate in the jingle, to look at the Family Feud when we launch our website, to go and look at it, to come to the soca size. Those are my closing comments.
Okay, thank you very much, and do remember to have a wonderful day. If you have any faults to inform us about, feel free to call our hotlines or send us a nice message to our Facebook page, and we'll be sure to address the matter. Thank you very much.